Greetings, my fellow Canadians. It is with great sadness that I speak to you on this day. For far too long, our government, under the dictatorship of Stephen Harper, has abused its power in many ways. It has abused Canada's Parliament, proroguing Parliament as a distraction tactic. Our foreign policy has failed. He wastes your money and then increases your taxes, making it harder for you to provide for your family. He hides the truth whenever it is convenient. He has no regard for science, and he does not defend Canadian citizens as seen at the G20 summit in Toronto. I watched in utter disbelief as my fellow countrymen were beaten, unlawfully searched, detained without due process, or even being convicted of a crime. I watched the police brutalize the people, the very people they are sworn to protect and serve. Now, it is no secret to those of you who have opened your eyes to the changes in the world since September 11th that North America, not just the United States, stands at the brink of massive unrest. Bill H.R. 645, if passed into law, allows President Barack Obama, under executive order, the right to declare martial law in America during an event of an emergency or a natural disaster. Along with this law accompanies the buildings of national residential centers. These centers are capable of housing entire families. If you do not believe me, I suggest you look into the matter for yourself. These concentration camps are also being built in Canada. For who? Will we be shipping terrorists in from outside of the country to be jailed in one of these facilities? No, they are for us. Look out your window and see, Canada. We are lambs being led to the slaughter. Stephen Harper, whose strings reach all the way to Washington, he is a puppet who is backed by oil-rich lobbyists whose plans are more sinister than we can even imagine. He does not care about women. He does not care about Native Canadians. He even suggested we work closer with the Bush administration on the topic of sending our troops into Iraq. My grandfather stormed the beaches with his countrymen, your fathers, your grandfathers, and even your great-grandfathers, to ensure that we could live in a world free of oppression, hatred, and fear. Is that the country that they have blessed us? We should be ashamed of what we have allowed this country to turn into. This uniform I am wearing has been a large trunk for many years. It is the uniform worn by my grandfather while he was in Europe fighting fascism and tyranny. The time has come to don the uniform once more. It will not be worn, however, fighting at a distant enemy on some faraway shore. No, the enemy is here. It is in Toronto and Ottawa, Vancouver, it is in Calgary, Regina and Winnipeg, Montreal and St. John's. It is in your municipality building, and it is in your police stations. I and many of my colleagues give much respect to those who protest, those who speak out as they see fit. I know it takes much strength, and I know it takes great determination. I also know that powerful men will not hand over power simply because your voices were strong and true, simply because we are right and that they know they are guilty of great crimes. They will not. They will fight. And so will we. I am here today to tell the people of Canada, the police, and the corrupt in Ottawa that the time is upon us. This is war. Massive pockets of resistance are forming all across the country. We are armed and we are organized. The time for a protest is at an end. And so our message is clear. We will not stand by and watch our citizens be brutalized by the police and brushed aside by the fat cats in Ottawa. Therefore, if we see injustice, if we see your oppressive acts, we will take action in numbers. You will soon see, Stephen Harper, that the power of the people is far greater than any force at your disposal. Unfortunately, blood will be shed.